Good day everyone. So for this video, we are going to discuss the module 2 of the mechanics of the force, which entitles simple strain. So all of the discussions found in this video lecture are originated in the Strength of Materials 4th edition by Andrew Paitel and Ferdinand L. Singer. So here is the topic outline for this module. We have our first lesson, which is simple strain. Our lesson 2 is the stress strain diagram. Our lesson 3 is the axial deformation. Our lesson 4 is the statically indeterminate members. And actually, we also have our lesson 5, which is yung tinatawag nating shear deformation or yung distortion natin dito. Hindi ko lang na-include, no? So our learning objectives. So at the end of this module, you as BEC students should be able to illustrate the fundamental concepts of strain, solve problems related to strain, draw a stress-strain diagram, and elaborate the effect of strain. So let's now define kung ano yung tinatawag nating strain, no? So as you remembered dun sa ating first module, which is all about stress, we define stress as the distribution of the force, okay, to the whole cross section. So parang pinaghahati-hatian ng cross section na yun yung given load natin para ma-resist yung load na yon. So ngayon dito naman sa strain, pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung effect ng load na in-apply natin sa isang member, no? So simple strain is also known as unit deformation. So strain is the ratio of the change in length caused by the applied force to the original length. So ang sabi niya, yung ating daw strain, so strain was denoted by epsilon na symbol, no? So ang sabi niya ay strain daw is the ratio of the change in length caused with applied force to the original length. So let's have this figure here. Ang ating figure is hollow cylindrical tube natin. Hindi, solid cylindrical tube. Wherein nag-apply ka ng load P dyan na tensile, no? So ang tendency ng ating member na to is magkakaroon siya ng deformation, which is mag-elongate yan. So itong nakikita nyong symbol na to is delta. Okay, ito yung tinatawag nating deformation, no? So deformation. So yung L is the length and A is the cross-sectional area. So sabi dito, ito yung formula ng ating strain or epsilon is equal to delta all over L, or si delta is the deformation all over the original length. So yun yung strain talaga. So parang ang nangyayari dito, si strain, it is a geometric quantity that measures the deformation of a body. So ang mini-measure ng strain is gaano nga ba or ano yung naging deformation ng ating member with a given load P. So yun lang naman yung ni strain dito, definition niya. And since yung ating formula na delta all over L, we have the unit of your delta na in terms of length din yan, di ba? Or dimension, we have millimeters. And your length is millimeters din lang. So, parang ang mangyayari dito, our epsilon is millimeter over millimeter. Or, in short, this is unitless. So, unitless po yung ating strain. So, parang it is in terms of percentage lang si strain natin. Okay. So we have our lesson 2.2 stress-strain diagram. So we can relate the relationship, or we can state the relationship of stress and strain using the stress-strain diagram. So ano yung nangyayari dito sa ating stress-strain diagram, kung bakit nila to na formulate itong diagram na to. So suppose that a metal specimen be placed in tension compression testing machine. So as the actual load is gradually increased in increments, the total elongation over the gauge length is measured at each increment of the load, and this is continued until failure of the specimen takes place. So ang ginagawa daw nila dito sa ating stress strain diagram, nagawa nila to by experiment, no? So ang ginawa nila, nag-place sila ng metal, no? Sabi nating tube, ganito din yung niya, cylindrical din yung kanyang shape, no? So, in-applyan nila yun ng tensile force sa bawat dulo niya, i-drawing ko na lang guys para mas maintindihan natin. So ito yung ating metal, no? Ang ginawa daw nila dito para ma-obtain yung ating stress strain diagram. So nag-apply sila ng tensile load dyan from both ends, okay? So ang tendency neto habang lumalaki ng lumalaki yung ating tensile force P, syempre nag-elongate po yan ng nag-elongate. And as we all know, the formula of your stress is P over A, wherein your P is directly proportional to your stress, meaning as your value of P increases, your stress also increases. Tama ba? Tama. So kapag dinagdagan natin ng dinagdagan si P, tumataas si stress. So dito, habang tumataas si P, tumataas din ng tumataas yung ating stress. So ano nangyayari naman kapag tumataas si stress? So 'di ba, sabi natin nadadagdagan si P, so nag-elongate din naman to ng nag-elongate. Yan. So ang ibig sabihin niyan, nung tumataas si P, which is tumataas din si stress na nararanasan ng ating member, tumataas din yung kanyang strain. Kasi nga nadadagdagan yung kanyang elongation, tama? Ito yung kanyang elongation, oh. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin niyan, the relationship between the stress and strain is directly proportional. So as your stress increases, your strain also increases. So to further understand this concept dito kung paano nangyayari ito, so panoorin nyo itong short clip lang na to. So ito yung nangyayari sa ating member. So ito yung member natin, itong puti. So pag nag-apply tayo ng tensile force dyan, okay, so mag-apply tayo ng tensile force dito. So nag-apply ka ng tensile force, tumataas yung stress mo, tumataas din yung kanyang strain. So nakita nyo po, itong point na to, ito naka-X dito, this will be the point wherein magka-crack na or mag-fail na yung ating member. So, dyan na din matatapos yung ating graph kapag nag-fail na yung ating member. Okay? So, i-define natin itong mga points na meron sa ating stress-strain diagram. Okay? So, ito yung ating example ng stress-strain diagram with the given known points. Okay? So, meron tayong tatlong points dito sa part na to. Tinatawag natin siya as proportional limit, elastic limit, and the yield point. So, ang tawag naman sa maximum ordinate or the maximum stress, okay, is the ultimate strength of the material. And ito naman, itong part na to, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ito na yung part na kung saan magsisimula ng or naputol na yung ating member. So that should be your rupture strength. And meron din tayong tinatawag na actual rupture strength dito. So later on, i-explain natin kung bakit anong pinagkaiba ng actual rupture at nung rupture strength natin. So before that, before ko makalimutan, itong si strain natin dito na epsilon, pwedeng maklasify yan into two, no? So for letter A, yung unang type ng ating strain is yung normal strain. Ito yung example natin na meron kang applied load dito. And then nagde-deform yan, okay, via its length. So ang nangyayari naman dito sa pangalawa, ito naman yung tinatawag nating shear strain. So, ang nangyayari naman dito is distortion yan. Distortion. Ito, elongation naman to. Or dimension changes. So, elongation. So, lagi nyo nang tandaan ang pinagkaiba ni normal at ni shear strain, ang nagbabago kay normal is yung kanyang dimension or yung kanyang length, no? Pwedeng nag-ano yan, nag-elongate, pwede din namang nag-shorten, no? So itong si shear strain naman, ang nagbabago dito is yung changes in shape or in angle. Yan, so angle na lang mas okay. Huwag ng shape kasi parang hindi natin siya madidistinguish kapag ka-shape. So angle, yan. So imagine kapag ka ganito yung cross section mo, square yung cross section mo, no? Kapag nag-apply ka ng shear strain, ang nangyayari po dito, pwedeng mag-iba. Ayan. So, anong nangyari dyan, from the original na 90-degree angle, nagbago na ngayon. So, ibig sabihin, nagbabago or yung shear strain is nangyayari yan kapag may pagbabago sa angle. Okay, so balik tayo dito sa ating stress strain diagram. Let's define yung bawat points na yan. So, unahin natin si proportional limit. So, proportional limit from the origin O to the point called proportional limit, the stress strain curve is a straight line. This linear relationship between elongation and the actual force causing was first noticed by Sir Robert Hooke in 1678 in his called Hooke's law, that within the proportional limit, the stress is directly proportional to strain. Okay? So, guys, dito na part, yung naka-gray po na shade dito, ito yung tinatawag nating, hindi. Itong naka-gray po na part dito, mula dito sa point ng elastic limit, papunta dun sa point O, ito yung tinatawag nating elastic limit, no? Or elastic region. So, ito naman, itong block na to na makapal, papunta lang dito sa point na to, wherein si proportional at ay up to the proportional limit, as we can see, nag-create yan ng straight line. So, ang ibig sabihin yan, the relationship of stress and strain is linear dito sa part na to. So, pag sinabi nating linear, as the stress increases, the strain also increases. So, yung relationship neto is linear, and we can represent this in equation by using this equation, no? Ito si stress is equal to hindi. Huwag mo nang equal. Is directly proportional to your strain. So, ito yung general equation natin dito. Pero kapag ginawa natin itong in the form of equal sign, no? So, stress is equal to, magtatabi tayo dito ng proportionality constant K multiplied by our strain. So, itong proportionality constant K na to, ano ba yung constant property ng ating material? So, ito yung tinatawag nating modulus of elasticity. No? So, E. Therefore, palitan natin si K ng E. We have the formula of stress is equal to E multiplied by strain. So, ito yung tinatawag nating Hooke's law ngayon. Ito yung ginagamit natin. And very useful itong si Hooke's law natin because ginagamit natin ito sa mga subjects na design such as RCD and steel design para makapag-design tayo ng isang member. So, paano ba tayo nagdi-design ng members? Ano yung kahalagahan ni Hooke's law na yan, guys? Di ba sa ating reinforced concrete design RCD, ang ginagawa natin diyan, let's say this is your cross-sectional area of your beam, no? And then this is the cut na part. Ang ginagawa natin dito para ma-design natin yung member, gumagamit tayo ng concept of Hooke's law to determine the dimension of the beam. Okay? So let's say this is H or the height of the beam, and this is the B or the width of the beam. Pwede din namang nadidetermine natin or nasosolve natin yung required number of longitudinal bars, okay, dito sa ating beam na ilalagay. So, nasosolve natin yan using the concept of Hooke's law. So, ganun. Ayun yung essence ng Hooke's law. Bakit natin pinag-aaralan. So, this is first introduce dito sa ating strength of material or mechanics of deformable bodies, at magagamit nyo ito sa inyong design subject. So, ito lang naman yung gustong sabihin ni Hooke's law, no? Ito yung formula. Proportional limit is also known as the Hooke's law, which tells us that the strain is directly or the stress is directly proportional to your strain. So ito yung formula na gagamitin natin dito. So the modulus of elasticity E is nagva-vary po yan depende sa type of material na given. Okay? So pero ito yung gusto ko lang na tandaan nyo na sa modulus of elasticity of your steel should be equal to 200,000 mega Pascal. Okay? And in terms of ano naman yan, English unit, this is equal to 29,000 KSI. So, yan po yung dalawang ano natin, no, values natin for the modulus of elasticity of steel. This is for metric unit and this is for English unit, 29,000 KSI. So, I hope clear sa inyo yun, no? So, next naman natin is yung elastic limit. So, the elastic limit is the limit beyond which the material will no longer go back to its original shape when the load is removed. So, ang nangyayari po dito sa ating elastic limit, ito daw yung point, di ba? Mula dito sa point O, tumataas ka ng tumataas. Okay, let's say nakarating ka sa point na to. Pag inalis mo na ngayon yung load P mo dyan, ang tendency is babalik pa rin sa dati niyang shape, okay? Dati niyang length, no? Dati niyang itsura yung ating member na nahatak. Pero once daw na ma-reach ng ating stress, okay, yung tinatawag nating elastic limit, from the word itself, elastic limit, hanggang dyan lang siya magiging elastic. Okay? Hanggang dyan lang na point, okay? Lower than this point, babalik pa siya sa ating original shape. Pero kapag na-reach niya na si elastic limit, yan diyan na din magi-start na ano yan, no? Hindi na babalik yung ating member sa dati niyang itsura or sa dati niyang shape. So ibig sabihin, kapag inalis mo yung load P dito sa member na to, inalis mo yung load P na yan, then na-reach niya na si elastic limit, hindi na siya babalik sa kanyang dating shape, no? So next, so tandaan nyo from this point pababa and then itong gray na region, ito yung tinatawag nating elastic region wherein babalik pa po yung sa original shape niya. Okay, babalik pa sa original shape niya yung material. So ano naman itong tinatawag nating elastic and plastic ranges? So, ang elastic and plastic ranges, the region in stress strain diagram from point O to point P is called the elastic range, and the region from point P to R is called the plastic range. So, dito, as what I said a while ago, itong naka-gray is the elastic region. Ang tawag din naman po dito, mula dito sa point ng elastic limit, point E, point P, papunta dito sa ating point R, ito na yung tinatawag nating plastic limit. Yan, or plastic region. Plastic region yung tawag dyan. So the next point is the yield point. So yield point is the point at which the material will have an appreciable elongation or yielding without any increase in the load. So dito sa yield point naman na to, magi-start ng mag-yield yung ating member. So ano ba yung tinatawag nating yielding? So yung yielding po na tinatawag natin is that kapag ka yung ating load P dito, okay, di ba, dinadagdagan natin ng dinadagdagan yung ating load P. So kaya tumataas din ng tumataas si strain. So pag na-reach niya na yung ating yield point, from that point po, kahit hindi mo nadagdagan yung ating load P, patuloy pa rin pong nadadagdagan yung ating strain. Kaya napapansin nyo dito, kapag zoom in natin ito guys, zoom in natin yan. Pag zoom in natin yan, this will be your yield point, okay, yield point. Magkakaroon pa yan ng horizontal na zero slope. So parang horizontal yan. So ibig sabihin, pag nakarating ka na dito sa point na to, saka pa lang siya tataas ulit. So, ang mangyayari po dito sa ating yield point na tinatawag, di ba nakita nyo, itong ating stress dito, iisa lang yung value, no? Stress, iisa lang yung value. Pero yung strain natin, nagbabago, no? Tumataas ng tumataas. So, ibig sabihin, kahit hindi mo dagdagan si force P dyan, tensile force P, patuloy pa rin na nag-elongate yung ating member. Yun yung kay yield point. So, ang tawag doon is yielding, no? Yielding yung tawag sa nangyayari sa ating bakal na yun. Yielding. So, how about the ultimate strength? So, itong ultimate strength is the maximum ordinate in the stress-strain diagram. No? So, the maximum ordinate of the stress-strain diagram is the ultimate strength or the tensile strength. So, itong si ultimate strength natin, guys, ito na yung maximum possible stress na pwede mong i-apply. Okay? Na pwede mong i-apply doon sa ating material. And ito din na part, magsisimulang magkaroon ng necking na tinatawag. Ano ba yung necking na tinatawag? Alam niyo yung kapag nasobrahan mo sa hatak yung isang member na bakal, no, sa bakal natin, pag na-reach niya na yung ultimate strength niya, that's the time na liliit yung cross-section dito sa part na yan. Tama po ba? Tama ba? Tingnan nyo yung nangyari sa ating member kanina. Okay, ulitin natin na yung nangyari sa member natin. So, nag-a-apply tayo, no? Nag-a-apply tayo ng tensile force. Okay? So, until ma-reach niya yung, yan, maximum ordinate. So, nang na-reach niya na to, nagsimula na ding lumiit yung cross-section natin dito, no? Tama? So, ituloy natin. Ayan, no? Nakita nyo, lumiliit ng lumiliit hanggang mag-fail na po siya. Okay, so from this point to this point, nangyayari yung tinatawag nating necking. Yung lumiliit ng lumiliit yung cross-section natin hanggang sa mag-fail na po siya. Kaya tignan nyo yung graph natin, bumaba siya, no? Diba? Nung nagsimula ng mag-necking, magkaroon ng necking, hihina si load P. Hihina si load P, that's why bumaba yung ating stress. Pero still, nag-elongate pa rin yan. Kaya meron pa rin tayong pagtaas sa strain. So, sana mas maintindihan nyo yung concept ng ating stress-strain diagram kasi very crucial to pagdating sa design subjects ninyo. No? And yung ating last point of the stress-strain diagram, okay, ito yung tinatawag nating rupture strength or yung nominal tensile strength. So, from the word itself, nominal, ito talaga yung original. Okay? Ito talaga yung original tensile strength natin. So ano ang pinagkaiba naman nitong si actual rupture strength at ni rupture strength na nandito sa baba? So, yun yung i-discuss ko ngayon, no? So, ang pinagkaiba lamang po nila, na-obtain nila itong si rupture strength na ito using the concept na hindi nagbabago yung cross-section. Okay? Yung walang nangyayaring necking. So, di ba, remember the formula of stress na stress is equal to P all over A. Tama? So, sabi ko nga, mula dito, sa point na to, sa ultimate strength, papunta doon sa ating rupture strength, lumiliit ng lumiliit yung ating load P. So, kapag lumiit ng lumiit yung ating load P, tapos same lang yung area natin, tama, same lang, ibig sabihin bababa talaga. Okay, bababa talaga yung location ng ating stress. Kasi nga, mas liliit. Di ba sabi ko kanina, as the load P increases, your stress also increases. Pero dito, bumaba si load P, kaya yung ating graph is nagpababa din siya. But still, meron pa rin tayong strain, no? Tumataas pa rin yung strain. Pero dito naman sa actual rupture strength, ang nangyayari po dyan, kinukonsider ngayon yung pagbabago sa ating cross-section, no? So, yung ating cross-section ng ngayon dito is lumiliit din ng lumiliit. And as you can see, the relationship of stress and the cross-sectional area of the material is inversely proportional. As your cross-sectional area decreases, your stress increases. Tama? Tama ba? So halimbawa, let's say meron tayong 100 divided by 1. So yung sagot diyan is 100. Pero once na binabaan mo yung denominator mo, 100 divided by 0.02. So mas mababa siya kay 1, so tataas yung sagot dito. So as you can see, yung relationship ni stress in the cross-sectional area is inversely proportional. So nung lumiliit ngayon ng lumiliit, yung ating cross-section, okay, kasi kino-consider natin dito yung ating cross-section, yung pagbabago sa cross-section natin dito sa ating actual rupture strength, tumataas yung ating stress dyan. So ang nangyari, imbis na magpababa siya, nagpataas siya. So, yun yung reason, no? So, ano yung ginagamit natin sa engineering? Ang ginagamit natin sa engineering is itong graph na to, itong block. Ayan. So, ito yung rupture strength natin. Rupture strength. Kasi, guys, bakit kaya natin ginagamit ito? Ginagamit natin itong si rupture strength na original, hindi yung si actual, no? Hindi yung si actual. Kasi kapag ginamit natin si actual, ina-assume natin na yung ating material is sobrang lakas pag ganyan. Or, di ba, kapag ka ito yung kinuha mong maximum stress mo, edi may masasolve ka diyang load P. Yan ngayon yung load P na i-allow mo na i-carry ng ating member, okay? At iniisip mong dyan pa lang siya magsisimulang masira or magkaroon ng rupture. Pero, kapag kinonsider mo naman itong si rupture strength dito sa may original, andito lang yung stress mo. So, yung masolve mong P dito is much lower than this load P. So, itong load P na nandito, okay, nakatapat ng ating rupture strength, yan yung ia-allow mong i-carry ng ating member. Tama po ba? So, nakita niyo yung nakita niyo yung parang allowance niya. Okay? Paano kapag nagkamali si engineer? Hindi pala ito yung kanyang capacity, si load P. E then nag-apply ka dyan ng load P. Minaximize mo yan. Halimbawa, yung actual rupture strength is 1,000 kilonewtons. Okay? And then your rupture strength lang is 800 kilonewtons. So, nakita mo yung difference. Ngayon, sa pag-aakala mo na yung kayang buhatin ng iyong member is 1,000 kilonewton, pero nagkamali ka, may konting discrepancy, and then minaximize mo yun, nag-apply ka ng 1,000 kilonewton sa ating member, nag-break siya. Di ba? Nakita nyo yung pinagkaiba. Pero kung i-allow mo tong si original, si rupture strength, pag i-allow mo yan, na yan yung gamitin mong rupture strength ng iyong material, ang laki ng allowance. No? So, kahit sabihin mong 900 kilonewtons yung totoong totoong strength niyan, then nag-apply, kung ililimit mo lang yung load mo sa 800, hindi ka lalagpas yun kasi iniisip mo yan na yung kanyang rupture strength Diyan na siya magsisimulang masira. Pero sa totoo naman pala 900 kilonewtons. So meron ka pang allowance na 100 kilonewtons. Pag ito yung inalaw mo si rupture strength. So I hope clear po sa inyo itong si pinagkaiba ni actual rupture at ni rupture strength na nominal or yung original natin. Okay, so paano naman nagmamatter itong ating stress strain diagram sa mga manufacturing industry natin? So kapag bumili ka kasi ng bakal sa ating mga mga hardwares, no? Pag bumili ka ng bakal doon, meron kang iba't ibang grades. Tatanungin ka kung anong grade po ng bakal yung gagamitin ninyo. Kasi meron tayong grade na 248, 275. Ito yung mga available dito sa Pilipinas. And yung grade na yan na tinutukoy nila, guys, is actually the yield strength of the steel, no? Kasi ang yield strength natin or FY, si FY kasi, mas maintindihan nyo to sa design subject nyo. Yung FY natin, pwedeng maging 248 megapascal, pwedeng maging 275 megapascal, and that corresponds the yield strength of the steel. So, ito yung point na yan, si FY, na-solve nila, nalaman nila tong si FY using the stress strain diagram. And meron din naman tayong tinatawag na FU. So, yung FU or F ultimate, yung F is stress yan F, stress. So, or pwede din namang sigma ult, no? Pwede din naman tong sigma Y, no? Okay lang din naman yun. Pero ang ginagamit natin for design subjects is si FY at si F ult or FU. So, itong F ultimate naman, since nakita nyo, mas mataas yung kanyang ordinate as compared to your Fy, so mas mataas naman yung kanyang ultimate strength. Mas mataas naman ngayon to. Sometimes ito is 400 megapascal, yung mga yan. So magagamit nyo to sa design subject, guys. So punta na po tayo dito sa ating axial deformation. So axial deformation, in the linear portion of the stress-strain diagram, the stress is proportional to strain and is given by, okay, di ba? Ito yung na-derive natin kanina kay Hooke's law. So, using this formula, Hooke's law, stress is equal to a modulus of elasticity multiplied by your strain. And sinabi ko nga kanina that your strain is equal to delta or the elongation divided by the original length, and your stress is equal to force all over the area. And then substituting these two equations to your Hooke's law, we have P all over A is equal to E times the strain na elongation all over the L. Yan. Therefore, pwede nating i-rewrite ito. Okay? Pwede nating masolve si elongation using the formula P L over E A. So, ito yung formula natin for elongation. So, ito yung nanggaling kay ating concept ng strain and concept ng ating stress. At gano'n na din kay Hooke's law, no? So, ito yun, na-derive natin. So, next. So, to use this formula, itong formula na to, ng ating elongation, so the load must be axial, the bar must have a uniform cross-sectional area, and the stress must not exceed the proportional limit. So, if, however, the cross-sectional area is not uniform, the axial deformation can be determined by considering a differential length and applying integration. So, eto guys, itong PL over EA na to, ginagamit lang natin siya for uniform cross-section. Pero kapag hindi uniform, pwede mong gamitin itong formula ng elongation na to. Sulat ko na lang, ano. So, elongation is equal to the integral of P, since yung cross-section is not uniform, so magbabago yung kanyang so parang nagbabago siya with a given length. So let's say ito yung ito yung member mo, ganyan. Okay? So with respect to this axis, mag-measure ka ng length L, okay? From this point to the point kung ano yung area na yon. Tapos dito din, ganun din dun sa kabila. Ito din is L. Until ma-reach mo yung kanyang maximum area. So, para ang magiging natin dito, limit natin is in terms of L or in terms of X. Sige, tawagin natin ito as X na lang. Yan, X. So, X. So, in short, parang ang mangyayari lang dito sa ating equation, we have P all over EA dx or dl from 0 to L. Yan. Pero kung balik natin sa L, L na lang yan. So ito yung gagamitin. Mamaya mag-example siguro ako ng non-uniform cross-section. And ito naman, dito naman tayo sa ating stiffness tinatawag or stiffness K. So stiffness is the ratio of the steady force acting on an elastic body to the resulting displacement. It has the unit of Newton per millimeter. So, ang mga examples, ang mga material na may stiffness is actually yung mga bakal natin, yung spring, di ba? So, may stiffness K yun, yung ating. And paki-take note na din tong formula ng ating stiffness K, which is equal to load P over the displacement or the elongation natin. So, I think ready na tayo sa ating first example. So, example number 1. So, a steel rod having a cross-sectional area of 300 mm squared and a length of 150 meters is suspended vertically from one end. So, it supports a tensile load of 20 kilonewtons at the lower end if the unit mass of steel is 7,850 kilogram per cubic meter, and E is equal to 200 times 10 raised to 3 meganewton per meter squared, find the total elongation of the rod. So, hindi lang nailagay dito sa ating figure yung given na tensile load P. So, ito yung tensile load P natin at nandiyan yan sa pinakadulo. Ayan. Okay. So, ilagay na lang siguro natin. This is 20 kilonewton. Taba naman masyado. Okay, sige. Solve natin to. Isulat muna natin yung mga given sa ating problem we have. So, given natin, cross-sectional area. So, given na agad tayo ng area, no? So, area is equal to 300 millimeter squared. Length is equal to 150 meters. Or, i-convert natin into millimeters. That is 150,000 millimeters. So, our tensile load P is equal to 20 kilonewtons. Converted into Newton, we have 20,000 newtons. If the unit mass of steel is 7,850 kg per... So, ito, tinatawag natin siya as density din, no? So, Rho, yung symbol niyan. We have 7,850 kg per cubic meter. And the modulus of the elasticity is 200,000. Megapascal din yang meganewton per meter squared na yan. So, kapag hindi man given itong si natin na to, E natin na to, kapag sinabi namang steel yung ating rod, so automatic alam nyo na dapat na si E is equal to 200,000 megapascal. Okay. Ang hinahanap po sa atin is the elongation. So, required. Elongation. Total elongation. Ayan. Sige, i-solve muna natin yung, bale may nakita kayong dalawang loads dyan, di ba? The load due to the tensile force and the load, okay, due to the weight. Okay? Weight. So, kukunin natin yung weight natin mamaya. Unahin muna natin yung elongation due to the tension. Okay? So, elongation ayan. So, due to the applied load P. So, we have the formula of elongation na PL over EA. Ayan. So, substituting the values, we have the value of P na 20,000 newtons multiplied by the length na 150,000 all over divided by the value of your E, 200,000 multiplied by the area na 300 millimeter squared. And take note na dapat po lahat ng units natin is in terms of millimeters and newtons. Dapat yan. Para ang maging sagot is megapascal. So, 20,000 times 150,000 divided by 200,000 times 300. So, this is equal to 50. Okay? Sige, tawagin ko na lang ito as our delta 1. Ayan, delta 1. So, saan manggagaling yung ating second elongation? So, our second elongation is due to the weight. So, elongation due to its own weight. Pero hindi natin alam kung ano yung weight natin. So, masosolve natin yung weight ng ating material using this unit, density, no? So, we have density, weight is equal to density multiplied by the volume. Okay. Yung volume natin. Ano ba yung volume na i-consider natin dito? So, yung volume ng buong rod na yan. So, since this is circular in cross-section, ibig sabihin para siyang cylinder. So, ano yung formula ng cylinder for volume? We have area base times the height. Or, dito naman, ang area base natin given na as 300 mm squared. And yung ating height is given na din as your total length, no? So, masosolve na natin si weight. We have, kailangan consistent tayo sa mga units, ha. We have our weight na yung raw natin is 7850 kilogram per cubic meter. So dapat itong mga units natin is naka in terms of meter lahat. So we have times 300 mm squared. Okay? Ito yung kay kay tawag dito. Kay area base pa lang yan. And then yung length natin na 150 meters. So ito i-convert ko into meter squared. In every 1 meter, we have 1,000 millimeters. Then, quantity squared, so magka-cancel out na yun, magiging meter squared na ngayon yan. Tapos, mawawala na din yan. So, yung magiging unit natin dito is in terms of kilogram pa lang. Tama? In terms of kilogram pa lang yan. So, magmumultiply pa ako dito ng 9.81 meter per second squared para ang unit natin is maging kilogram meter per second squared, or this is in terms of Newton, no? So our weight is now equal to 7850 times 300 times 150 times 9.81 divided by 1,000 squared. Okay. So 3465.3825. 0.3825 newtons. Okay, so pwede na nating ma-solve yung ating elongation due to its own weight. We have elongation 2 is equal to PL over EA, wherein yung ating P is your weight. So we have your weight na 3465.3825 multiplied by the length. This time, ang length na i-consider ko is si 75 meters lang, hindi si 150. Kasi naka-apply yung ating weight sa centroid man ng ating buong rod. So, dapat nasa 75 meter yan. So, this is 75 times 10 raised to 3 para maging millimeters divided by the modulus of elasticity na 200 times 10 raised to 3 multiplied by the cross-sectional area, that is 300. Makakalahati lang ba? Ay, hindi. So, 3465.3825 divided by, okay, so 75,000 divided by 200 times 300 equal. So this is equal to 4.33. 4.332. millimeters. So our total deformation is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. So we have 50 plus 4.332, which is equal to 54.332 millimeters. Okay, yan na yung sagot natin dito. Next. So example number 2, a steel wire 30 feet long hanging vertically supports a load of 500 pounds. So neglecting the weight of the wire, determine the required diameter if the stress is not to exceed 20 ksi and the total elongation is not to exceed 0.2 inches. So assume E is 29,000 or 29 times 10 raised to 6 psi. Okay, so i-list down muna natin yung mga given. So yung given natin, we have, una is yung kanyang length, which is equal to 30 feet. Then yung kanyang P is equal to 500 pounds. Then neglecting the weight of the wire, determine the required diameter. If the stress, so given din tayo ng stress dyan na 20 ksi. Then elongation natin, total elongation is equal to 0.20 inch. Then our modulus of elasticity is 29 times 10 raised to 6 psi. Remember, psi is different to ksi, ha? So para maging 29,000 yung E natin, i-divided by 1,000 natin to para maging ksi siya, no? Or this is also equal to 29,000 ksi. So ang mangyayari po dito, ang required muna tayo. Our required value is your diameter. So what should be the value of your diameter? Actually, meron tayong dalawang masosolve na diameter dito. Diameter based on the stress given and the allowable elongation na given. So bali dalawa yung magiging natin, no, values natin, and pipili na lang tayo mamaya. Okay, so for letter A, hindi. First, unahin natin yung diameter based on the stress. Based on the maximum allowable stress. Ayan. So remember, our formula for stress is P over area. And since our cross section is circular, okay, so solve natin si area using the formula pi over 4 multiplied by the diameter squared. Okay, so given tayo ng stress 20 ksi, so it should be converted into psi dapat. So we have 20,000 psi. So 20,000 din yung ilalagay ko dito. Equate natin to kay load P. Our load P is 500 pounds divided by pi over 4 times the diameter squared. So may makuha tayong value ng diameter dito. Our first value of diameter is, i-rearrange ko na siya dito sa calcio, pero kayo kung gusto niyo mag-shift solve, sige, try na natin shift solve. Again, makinig kayo sa akin, kapag ka inalaw nyo tong calculator nyo na nandito sa may baba yung inyong given, yung kinukuha mo, tapos pa yan, quadratic pa yan, mas matagal pag sa calculus nyo. Pero ito, emulator to eh. Kaya mabilis lang siya dito. So, 0.1784 ang ating unit dito is inches. Ayan. So, next, kunin naman natin yung kanyang diameter based on the maximum allowable deformation naman. Maliit ko na lang. So, dito naman tayo next. Based on the allowable deformation. Okay, so based on the allowable deformation, we have the formula for deformation na delta is equal to PL over EA. So substituting the givens, we have 0.2 na deformation. Equate natin to kay load P na 500 pounds multiplied by L, that is 30 foot. Pero dito guys, since our units is in terms of PSI, in terms of inches, gawin ko na lamang po itong inch. So magta times 12 ako para maging inch yan. So this is equal to 30 times 12, 360 inches yan. So ito 360 man ito, then divided by the modulus of elasticity na 29 million. So 29 times 10 raised to 6 ang gagamitin ko. Yung naka PSI times 10 raised to 6 times the cross-sectional area pi over 4 diameter squared. So may masasolve tayo ditong pangalawang value ng ating diameter. 0.2 alpha solve 500 times 360 divided by 29 123 123 times 0.25 shift pi times alpha x squared. Ayan. So, this is 0.1988. So, yung D natin is 0.1988 inch. Okay. So, again, anong pipiliin natin kapag ka-dimension? Ang pipiliin ko po dito is yung bigger value kasi dito, kapag ka mas binabaan natin yung ating dimension, diliitin yung area natin. So, ibig sabihin yan, mag-fail siya kapag ka ito yung required diameter para makarry niya yung ating load P, which is 0.1784 inch. Lower than this, mag-fail yung ating material. Okay? Kapag dito naman, ito naman yung allowed na value ng ating diameter. Lower than this value, mag-fail yung ating material. Kaya mas safe na pipiliin natin yung mas malaking value dito ng ating diameter para safe sila both in deformation and in terms of stress. So ito na po yung ating final answer dito kay example number 2. So next po tayo is kay example number 3. So an aluminum bar having a cross-sectional area of 0.5 inch squared carried the actual loads applied at the position shown in the figure below. Compute the total change in length of the bar if E is 10 times 10 raised to 6 psi. Assume that bar is suitably raised to prevent lateral buckling. Okay? So, mangyayari po dito, magka-cut-cut tayo dito mamaya, pero isulat muna natin yung given. Given. So, una na given natin is yung area natin, which is 0.5 inch squared. So, yung ating modulus of elasticity is 10 times 10 raised to 6 psi. So, sir, bakit mali naman yung binigay nyong E? Guys, hindi porket sinabi natin na yung value ng E ng steel is 200,000 or 29,000, yun na din yung value ng ating aluminum bar. Nakita nyo, this is an aluminum. So, magkaiba dapat yung ating modulus of elasticity dyan. No? So, tama lang to na iba yung kanyang modulus of elasticity. So, i-consider natin yung mga cutting sections. Okay? I-consider natin tong cut na to. I-cut ko yung ating itong part na to considering the left portion ng ating cut. So, mangyayari dyan, Sige, tawagin ko siguro tong ano, section AA. This is your section AA. Ayan. Ito naman, section BB. Ito naman, section, pwede mo i-consider yung right, pwede mo i-consider yung left. Sige, right na lang tayo. Section CC. So, kay section AA muna tayo. At section AA, we have this cut. Ayan. So, ito yung cut section natin. Masyadong mahaba. So, ito yung ating applied tensile force na 6,000 pound. 6,000 pound. So, kailangan ngayon natin itong si P1 natin. So, ito yung tawagin natin as P1. Okay, so P1. So, by using summation forces horizontal is equal to 0, we all know that P1 is also equal to 6,000 pounds. So, summation forces X equals 0. To the right is positive. So, we have P1 is equal to 6,000 pound. Next, section BB. At section okay. So ito yung part na may ano ate 6,000. Okay. So kung ito ay 6,000 pounds, ito ay 7,000 pounds. Solve natin yung P2. So ano yung P2 natin dito? So we have summation forces horizontal is equal to 0. To the right is positive. So to the right si P2. Then plus 7,000 minus 6,000 equals 0. So your P2 is equal to negative, no? Negative 1,000 pounds. So negative means mali yung direction ng ating P2. So palitan ko na lang. Okay, palitan ko na lang yung direction ng ating P2. Makikita naman po natin dito na kailangan ni 6,000 ng katulong para ma-resist yung ating 7,000 pounds, which is ano yung kulang? 1,000 yan. So, may iba ngayon yung mga ano natin dito. So, magbabago na to. So, yung P2 natin is negative na yan. Yung 7,000 natin is positive. Yung 6,000 natin is negative. So, tama na po. Ito magiging positive na po yung ating P2. So, 1,000 pound. Okay, next. Ito na yung ating P2 ha. And remember, this is compression. Ito ay tension. So, huwag natin kakalimutan yung mga yan. Kasi mamaya, magbavari yung ating mga ano dito. Magbavari yung ating mga signs. Depende doon sa nature ng ating force. Okay, so, for tension, positive yan. For compression, negative po yan. So, next naman po tayo at section CC. Ayan, CC. So, pabaliktad naman siya, no? Andito naman yung cut mo. Ito ba yung cut mo? Ayan yung cut. Andito naman yung cut mo dito. And then, ito yung ating tensile force na 4,000. 4,000. Tapos, ito yung kanyang internal force. So, ito ay P3, ito ay 6,000. 6,000 pound. So, summation forces horizontal ulit is equal to 0. To the right is positive. So, your P3 is equal to 6,000 ba? Ay, 4,000, 4,000 lang. 4,000. Kamali lang tayo ng lagay. So, 4,000 din yung P3 natin. Pounds. So, since nag-positive yan, so that is tension. Okay, so tension yung ating nature dito. So, pwede na natin kunin yung elongation ng bawat portion natin, no? So, unahin natin yung ating elongation kay first cut, sunod kay second cut, at third kay third cut natin. So, the total elongation is equal to elongation 1 plus elongation 2 plus elongation 3. So, yun yung gagamitin natin dito. Pero, as you recall dito sa ating pagsosolve ng ating mga forces, your P1 is tension, so positive yan. Your P2 is compression, so dapat ito minus sign. Naka-minus sign dapat yan. So, this is minus. Yung ating P3 is positive, kaya plus din po ito. And then, isalpak po natin yung ating mga formulas dito. We have PL over EA, so this is P1 L1 over EA. So, yung E natin, constant naman yan. Yung cross-sectional area, constant din yan. So, minus P2 L2 over EA plus P3 L3 over EA. Yan. So, ito yung ating L1, 3 foot, L2, 5 foot, L3 is 4 feet, 4 feet pala, 4 feet. Okay, so, substituting the values, we have total elongation is equal to P1, yung P1 natin is 6,000 pounds. 6,000 pounds times L1. So, our L1 is 3 feet. Okay, so 3 feet converted into inch, magta times 12 ako, no? Times 12 para maging inch na yan divided by EA. So, yung E natin is 10 times 10 raised to 6. Then, multiplied by the cross-sectional area na 0.5 inch squared. 0.5 inch squared. Okay? So, minus natin si P2. Our P2 is 1,000. So, this is 1,000. And our L2 is 5 feet multiplied by 12 para maging inch. Then, divided by 10 times 10 raised to 6 times 0.5. Then, plus, our P3 is 4,000 times, ano ngayon yung ating L3? 4 feet. So, 4 times 12 para maging inches divided by 10 times 10 raised to 6 times 0.5. So, makuha na natin yung total elongation po natin dito. 6,000. And then, gawin ko na lang 6,000 times 3 times 12 minus 1,000 times 5 times 12 plus 4,000 times 4 times 12 divided by 10 times 10 raised to 6 times 0.5. Minsanan na, no? So, our answer is 0.0696. Our unit is inch. So, since, ano yung na-notice natin dito? Since this is positive, kapag positive, di ba, ano yan? Sabi ko, tension yan, or nag-elongate. So, since this is positive, nag-elongate yan, or lengthening. Elongate. So, again, positive, negative, lengthening or elongation, and shortening yan. Kapag nag-negative yung ating final answer. So, ito na yung sagot natin, guys. Example number 3. Okay. Kaya ba? Kakayanin nyo to. So, example number 4 tayo. A bronze bar is fastened between a steel bar and an aluminum bar as shown in the figure below. So axial loads are applied at the positions indicated. So find the largest value of P that will not exceed an overall deformation of 3 millimeters or the following stresses: 140 megapascal in the steel, 120 megapascal in the bronze, and 80 megapascal in the aluminum. So assume that the assembly is suitably braced to prevent buckling. So use modulus of elasticity of steel, 200,000 200,000 megapascal. E for aluminum is 70 gigapascal. E for bronze is 83 gigapascal. So as you can see dito, meron tayong three types of materials, steel, bronze, and aluminum. Siyempre, magkakaroon din tayo ng iba-ibang value ng modulus of elasticity natin. And as you can see, this is hindi sila uniform no pagdating sa cross section natin, kaya mag-iiba-iba din po yung ating cross-sectional area. So we have our given values. Okay, unahin na po natin yung allowable deformation, no? So our deformation total is equal to 3 millimeters. We have the following stresses. So stress for steel is equal to 140 megapascal. Stress for bronze, we have 120 megapascal, and stress for aluminum is equal to 80 megapascal. We are also given with our EST is 200 GPa. So gawin ko na lang tong megapascal, no? So MPa. Ito naman E-bronze, we have 70,000 megapascal. Ito naman E for aluminum, we have 83,000 megapascal. So as you can see dito guys, meron tayong givens na elongation, total elongation, allowable stress for steel, bronze, and for aluminum. So, ang ibig sabihin lamang po nito, makakasolve tayo dito ng 4 values of P based on this allowable na givens sa atin. So, kunin natin yung allowable P pagdating kay elongation, allowable P pagdating kay stress, allowable P pagdating kay bronze, and allowable P pagdating kay aluminum. And pipiliin natin yung pinakamababa sa kanila. Okay? Yun na din yung magiging allowable load P natin na hinahanap. So, yung require natin dito is load P. Largest value sa load P. Okay? So, our first step is magka-cut na naman tayo, no? So, this is your cut section AA, cut section BB, and your cut section CC. Okay? Pero pwede din naman nating i-consider yung ating portion na right, no? So, this is CC. Okay, so siguro kopyahin ko na lang yung mga ano kanina. So, this is for section AA. Yan, ito yung section AA natin. So, this is your load P, di ba? Isang P lang yan, isang P. So, by summation forces horizontal or X is equal to 0, to the right are positive. So, we have your P1, or mas okay siguro tawagin natin to as ano, P steel. So, P steel, PST. Yan. So, our PST is equal to, so we have PST na pakanan minus P is equal to 0. Your P is equal to, hindi, your PST is equal to P. So, this is your equation number 1. Equation number 1 natin ito. And then, for the section BB, so ito yung figure natin. Again, this is for section AA. Baba lang natin ito kasi masyadong mataas. Ayan. So, this is for section BB, no? At section BB, ito yung part na yon na kinat natin kanina, di ba? Ipakita natin yung mga loads. We have this is P, ito naman 3P. So, ano ngayon yung ating P of the bronze? Yan. So, P ng bronze. So, summation forces X is equal to 0. To the right are positive. So, we have P ng bronze plus 3P minus P is equal to 0. So, our P bronze is equal to negative 2P. So, negative means wrong direction ng ating bronze, no? So, it should be going to the left. Left po yung ating P bronze. So, ito magiging positive na to. So, negative din. Okay. Ito yung ating P bronze, no? So, next, at section CC, okay, section CC tayo. Kunin natin yung figure natin. So, ito yun. Ayan. So, ito yung ating cut section, right? Itong part na to. Ayan. Ito yung cut section natin, section CC. So, if this is load 2P, ito naman yung ating load na P of the aluminum. Okay? So, by summation forces X is equal to 0, to the right are positive. So, at ang ating P aluminum is negative yan, plus 2P is equal to 0. So, our P aluminum is equal to 2P. And this is tension, this is compression, this is tension. Again, this is your equation 1, this is your equation 2, and this is our equation 3. So, punta na po tayo doon sa mga given stresses natin. So, unahin na po natin yung stress kay steel, no? So, based on the allowable stresses. Okay, so unahin natin si steel. So, ang ating formula for stress is stress is equal to P over the area. So, parang ito magiging stress ng ating steel is equal to P steel divided by area ng ating steel. So, ang hinahanap po natin dito guys is yung ating load P. So, substituting all the values, we have stress of your steel na 140 megapascal equated to PST. Our PST is single P lang yan. Divided by the cross-sectional area of your steel. So, ano yung cross-sectional area ng steel? 480 millimeters squared. So, 480. So, meron tayong first value of P dito, which is 140 times 480. Naka-newtons po yung makukuha nating value. So, 67,200 newtons, or this is 67.2 kilonewtons. So, next, based naman sa ating, palitan ko yung kulay nito siguro. Gawin natin grade steel. Ito naman, based on the bronze naman. So, we have stress is equal to P all over A. So, ito, stress ng ating bronze is equal to PBR divided by area ng ating bronze. And then, substitute the values. We have stress ng bronze natin. Ano yung given na stress ng bronze? 120 megapascal. So, 120 is equal to PBR. Our PBR is 2P. Okay, so 2P. So, this is 2P. Negative yan, negative. Divided by the value of your area. Okay, so area ng bronze natin is 650 millimeters squared. Ayan. So, our PBR, or I mean yung ating P, is negative. Compression yan, kaya magiging negative talaga yan. So, negative 120 times 650 divided by 2. 39,000 newtons, or this is 39 kilonewton compression. Okay. So next, another load is from the aluminum. So from the aluminum. So ang ating formula for stress is P all over A ulit. Medyo ibaba ko na lang siya siguro. Okay, so our stress from the aluminum is equal to P aluminum divided by the area of your aluminum. So, stress of aluminum is 80 megapascal. Equate natin to kay 2P all over area of your aluminum. 320 millimeters squared. So, 320. So, meron tayong value ni force P dito. We have 80 times 320 divided by 2. 12,800 newtons, or this is 12.8 kilonewtons. So, meron na tayong 3 values of P. Siguro ang gawin ko na lang dito, medyo i-highlight na lang muna natin siya, no? Para masyadong malaki. Lagyan lang natin siya ng palatandaan na lang. Para hindi na tayo malito mamaya maghanap. Yan. Yan. Tapos, ito. Okay, so we have 3 values. Kita nyo ba? Ito nyo na lang. So, next naman, kunin naman natin yung ating load P based on the value of your total elongation. So, based on the total elongation. Okay, so our formula for elongation is equal to total elongation is equal to elongation na masosolve natin kay steel plus sana to, pero since this is compression, so minus elongation na masosolve natin sa bronze plus elongation na masosolve natin sa ating aluminum. Okay, then substituting the value, we have P steel, L all over, L steel din to ha. Hindi, lang, para mas minsanan na lang. PL over EA, ito ay para kay steel. Ayan. And then minus PL over EA, ito ay para kay bronze plus PL over EA, ito ay para kay aluminum natin. So, isubstitute natin yung mga given values po natin dito. We have total elongation na 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters. Ito, yan. 3 millimeters. Then, equate natin to kay PL over EA. P ng ating steel. P steel natin is single P lang yun, no? P times yung length ng ating steel is 1 meters. So, dapat ito naka-millimeters siya. So, 1,000 yan. So, 1,000 na length, okay, divided by modulus of elasticity of your steel is 200,000 times the cross-sectional area. So, your cross-sectional area is 480 millimeter squared. So, 480 yan. Ayan o, 480. Okay, next, minus. Okay. So, minus natin si load P, P ng ating bronze. So, yung P ng ating bronze is asan na yan? P bronze. Eto. Nandiyan ba yan? Eto, dito. Yung P bronze natin is 2P din lang. 2P. So, ilagay natin 2P multiplied by the length of the bronze. Length ng bronze is 2 meters converted into millimeters. So, 2,000 yan. 2,000 divided by the modulus of elasticity na 83. Tama ba? 83,000. Ay, 70. Okay. So, napagbaliktad ko lang pala to. So, this is for E aluminum and this is for E bronze. No, so E bronze 83,000, E aluminum is 70,000 megapascal. Okay, so, 83,000 yung ating E bronze dito. Times the cross-sectional area ng bronze natin, 650. Ayan. So, plus P aluminum, our P aluminum is 2P. Ayan. So, 2P times the length of your aluminum is 1.5 meters. So, magiging 1,500 millimeters. Divided by the modulus of elasticity, 70,000. Divided by, multiplied to the cross-sectional area, 320. 320. Okay. So, shift solve, makukuha na natin yung load P natin dito. So, 3 alpha solve, we have 1,000 P divided by 200,000 times 480 minus 2p times 2,000 divided by 83,000 times 650 plus 2p times 1,500 divided by 70,000 times 320. Shift solve. So our value of P is 42,733. So P is equal to 42,733.513 Newton. So this is equal to 42.734 kilonewtons. So ito yung mga values of P natin, no? Itong apat na to. So as you can see, we have four values of P. We are looking for the maximum allowable load P that can be applied to this connections, no? Para hindi mag-fail si aluminum, si steel, si bronze. So, piliin natin dito yung pinakamababang load P para kayang-kayang ibuhat ng lahat, no? So, our answer is 12.8. Safe load. P is equal to 12.8 kilonewtons. So, dapat ganito yung makita ko sa solution nyo, ha. Kapag kulang yan, mali din lang. So, proceed na po tayo dito sa ating example number 5. Ayan. So, a rigid bar ABC shown in the figure is hinged at A and supported by a steel rod at B. So, determine the largest load P that can be applied at C if the stress in the steel rod is limited to 30 kSI and the vertical movement of end C must not exceed 0.1 inch. So, ang gawin natin dito, i-drawing natin yung kanyang free body diagram. Okay. So, itong ating rod dito is merong ano dyan, no? Tensile force yan. So, may tensile force tayo dito. And, meron din naman tayo ditong reaction since this is hinge. So, meron tayong Y and meron tayong X. So, ito yung ating AY, ito yung ating AX, and tawagin natin to as your P steel. So, PST. So, pwede nating masolve yung ating PST using this given stress na nandito. Tama? So, kunin muna natin yung ating PST. So, we have the formula, stress is equal to, and then, stress in steel, yan, steel is equal to PST all over the area of steel. So, our stress sa steel is 30 KSI. Tama ba? Anyway, isulat siguro muna natin yung given para mas madali tayong maghanap. Okay, so, sa ibaba ko to. Given. So, our given values, we have okay, so yung ating stress sa ating steel is equal to 30 KSI. Then, yung ating vertical movement at C, so tawagin ko siya as YC is equal to 0.10 inch. Yan. So, isolve na natin siya. Solution natin. So, this is our solution. So, solution. Ayan. Okay, so our PST is Yun yung hinahanap natin, tama ba? So, substituting the value of our stress kay steel is 30 KSI, and that should be in PSI dapat. So, magta-times 10 raised to 3 ako para maging PSI na siya. Then, equate natin to kay PST, yung hinahanap muna, then divided by the value of your AST. Yung AST natin is 0.50 inch squared. So, our answer here is in terms of pounds. Okay, so PST is equal to 30,000 times 0.5. 0.5. Okay, so 1.5. 15,000 pala. 0.0. 0.5. So, 15,000. So, 15,000 pound. Yan. So, kailangan natin ito mamaya. Ngayon, okay, so kunin na po natin yung ating load P. So, this is based on the given allowable stress or based on the maximum stress of the steel rod. Yan. So, kunin na po natin yung ating force P. So, by summation moment at A, equate natin to sa 0. So, summation moment A is equal to 0. Clockwise is positive. So, our force P is, yung rotation niyan is clockwise multiplied by its moment arm na 5. Then, minus, yung PST natin, rotation niya is counterclockwise. So, that is minus, no? Your PST is 15,000 pounds times the moment arm na 2 feet. Yung iikot, wala na no. So, this is equal to 0. So, your force P is now equal to 30,000 divided by 5. Parang ganun lang yan. Divided by 5. Press equal. So, 6,000. So, 6,000 pounds or this is equal to 6 kilopounds. Yan. So, ito yung P galing kay maximum stress ng steel rod natin. How about the given vertical movement of the end C? Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin ng vertical movement, guys, is itong ating rod na to, okay, yung rod natin na to is mag-move siya vertically downward since due to the load P, syempre change yan, no? So mag-change yan ng kanyang position. So pwede siyang mag-move pababa itong si point C natin. So kapag nag-move po yan pababa, ang magiging itsura ng ating motion is ganito. Okay, ganito yan, no? Ganyan. So ang magiging ano natin dito, so ito na ngayon yung ating originally guys, andito yung ating ano, 'di ba? Andito yung ating bar, okay? Ngayon, ano yan, mag-change location yan, magiging ganyan yan. So, magiging ganyan na yan. Due to the load P dito. Tama? So, kapag magiging ano siya, may ganito yung positioning niya, ganito, masosolve po natin yung hinahanap, okay? Masosolve natin yung hinahanap nating load P, okay, based on the given na elongation kay steel. So, later on, ano natin yan. So, solve natin yan. So, erase ko muna to siguro. So, okay. So, ang gagawin ko, by ratio and proportion, pwede nating masolve yung ating elongation ng ating steel. So, elongation ng ating steel, so, using this triangle dito na malaki, yan, yung triangle po yan na malaki, we have 0.1 inch, okay? Siguro ano na lang, lagay ko muna, based on the movement at sea. Ayan. So, based on the movement at sea, we have 0.1 inch is to kung ilan yung length nito. Yan, papunta doon. Baka hindi nyo mag-gets to. Sige, so i-drawing ko na lang. Yung big triangle, by ratio and proportion to, no? So, by similar triangle. Similar triangle. Yung malaking triangle, equate mo siya sa maliit lang na triangle. So, saan nang galing yung maliit na triangle? Ito yan. Ito yung maliit. Yan yung maliit. So, this is elongation kay steel at ito ay 2 feet. Yan. Tapos ito, 0.1 inch. Ito, 5 feet. Tama? 3 plus 2. So, 5. So, by ratio and proportion, 0.1 is to 5 is equal to elongation ng steel is 2. So, may makukuha tayong value ng ating elongation ng ating steel dito. So, our elongation of steel is 2 times 0.1 divided by 5. So, 0.04 inch. No? So, inch yung unit natin dito. So, 0.04 yung ating elongation. So, using this elongation, makukuha po natin yung ating PST. Okay? So, elongation of steel is equal to PST L over EA. Yan. Yan. So, elongation ng steel is 0.04 is equal to PST multiplied by the length of that steel rod, which is 4 feet. So, 4 feet. Dapat, ang ating unit dito is in terms of, tawag dito, inches, no? So, magta-times 12 ako para maging inch yan. Divided by the modulus of our elasticity. The modulus of elasticity of steel is 29 times 10 raised to 6 psi. 29 times 10 raised to 6 psi multiplied by the cross-sectional area. 0.5. So, 0.5. So, ibibigyan tayo ng value na okay, so 0.04 times 29 yan, so 6. So, times 0.5 is equal divided by 4 times 12. Okay. So, our PST is 12,083.333. 12,083.333 pounds. So, after that, saka tayo magmo-moment kay A ulit. So, parang ganito din lang. Ayan, no? So, copy natin to. Magbabago lang yung PST natin. So, summation moment A is equal to 0. Clockwise is positive. So, your value of PS clockwise si P, yung rotation niya, multiplied by its moment arm na 5, minus, yung ating PST is hindi na siya 15,000. So, based on the elongation na ng ating steel, that is, so ito, iba na din to, equal to 12,083.333 multiplied by the moment arm na 2. Equate natin do kay 0. So, our P is equal to times 2 divided by 5. So, 4833.333. Or this is equal to 4.83 KS. Kips. Kilopounds. Yan. So, based on the given values of P, piliin natin yung mas maliit na value. So, our sagot is safe load P is equal to 4.833 kips. Ito na yung ating final answer, guys, kay example number 5. Ayan. So again kinumpare ko to kay 6 skips. Kaya mas maliit si 4.833. So pipiliin natin yung mas maliit na value. Okay, we have our next example, sample number 6. The rigid bar AB attached to two vertical rods as shown in the figure. So is horizontal before the load P is applied. So determine the vertical movement of P if its magnitude is 50 kilonewtons. Again ang gagawin ko po dito is isosolve natin yung elongation ng ating aluminum. So let's say mag-elongate yan at certain elongation. Ayan. Tapos mag-elongate din itong si ating steel. Okay? Elongation ng aluminum. And syempre, yung nasa gitna niya, ito yung elongation ng ating load P. I-connect lang natin ito guys. Itong dito, papunta dyan. Ayan. So, this should be the elongation of your or the vertical movement na hinahanap sa atin. Okay? So, ito yung vertical movement na hinahanap. Ayan. So, vertical movement of P. YP na lang. Okay. So, paano natin yan masosolve? Again, gumamit tayo ng kagaya kanina, ganito din lang, pero masosolve kasi natin dito yung ating reactions dito. Kunin muna natin yung mga reactions na nandito. So, ito yung ating reaction kay A, and this is your reaction kay B. Tama? So, ito yung ating PST. Ito naman yung P aluminum. Yan. So, PST, P aluminum. So, by using summation moment, kahit saan muna para makuha natin yung isa sa kanila, given that your load P is equal to 50 kilonewtons, okay, so this is 50 kilonewtons. So, siguro magmo-moment muna ako dito sa C. Okay, summation moment, C is equal to 0, clockwise rotation is positive. So, we have P aluminum times the moment arm na 6 meters, then minus natin C 50 kilonewton multiplied by its moment arm na 2.5 equated to 0, then masosolve na natin si P aluminum. So our P aluminum is equal to 50 times 2.5 equals divided by 6. So this is equal to 20.833 kilonewtons. Okay. 20.833 kilonewtons. So by summation forces, Y naman tayo is equal to 0. All upward forces are positive. Makuha na natin si PST. Okay. So summation forces Y is equal to 0. Upward is positive, so we have P aluminum plus P ng steel minus 50 kilonewtons equals 0. So given tayo ng P aluminum na 20.833 plus PST minus 50 is equal to 0. So your PST is, so mag-minus lang tayo ng 50 dyan. Ayan. So, 29.167. 29.167 kilonewtons. So, yan na yung ating mga mga values na gagamitin natin to solve for the elongations of your aluminum and elongation of your steel. Okay. Sige, kunin na po natin yung elongation ng ating aluminum. So, elongation of your aluminum is equal to P aluminum L over EA. So, P aluminum na 20.833 times 10 raised to 3 para maging newtons yan, multiplied by the length of the aluminum, that is 3 meters, so 3,000 po dapat ito. Okay, so ang gawin ko siguro, ilipat ko muna ito. dito na lang. Okay? So, divided by the modulus of elasticity of your aluminum is 70 GPa. So, 70 GPa is 70,000 MPa din lang yon. Then, multiplied by the cross-sectional area na 500 mm squared. So, given tayo ng elongation of aluminum. So, 20.8, hindi, 2833 na lang agad. 833 times 300, diba? 3,000 divided by 70,000 times 500. So, 1.78 millimeters. Ano yung katuloy pa ba? 786 millimeters. So, how about the elongation of your steel? So, elongation of steel is equal to PST times the length of the steel divided by EA. Ayan. So, plug in the values. We have 29.167 times 10 raised to 3 para maging newtons times L na naka-millimeters dapat. So, 4,000 yan divided by the value of your modulus of elasticity, 200 GPa or 200,000 MPa din lang yon times the cross-sectional area na 300 mm squared. So, our elongation kay steel is equal to okay. So, calculate natin ito guys. We have 29,167 times 4,000 divided by 200,000 times 300. So, elongation is 1.944. 1.944. Our unit is millimeters. So, again, kunin na po natin yung ating figure dito na meron ng displacement. So, ito yung ating figure dito. Okay? So, given tayo ng ating part na to na sige, sulat muna natin. This is our elongation sa steel. Okay? Elongation kay steel natin. Elongation kay steel. Tapos ito yung elongation kay aluminum. Yan. So, aluminum natin. So, ito meron siyang 6. 6 tapos ito is 944. Yan. So, paano natin makukuha yung ating buong distance na to? Ito yung hinahanap kasi, ito. Yan. So, tawagin natin to as your distance y prime. So, kunin muna natin si okay, kunin natin si y muna. Yung y muna yung kukunin natin. So, by ratio and proportion using this triangle na ito. Ayan. Ayan. So, kunin natin yung triangle na yan tapos yung triangle na malaki. So, yung triangle na malaki. So, kunin ko itong side na to ng ating triangle. So, this side is 1.944 minus 1.786. So, 1.944 minus 1.786. So this is equal to 0.158 millimeters. So by using ratio and proportion or by similar triangle, ito yung maliit na triangle natin. Yan, maliit na triangle. Tapos ito yung malaking triangle. Sige, tuloy natin, no? So, this is 0.158 and this is 6. Tapos ito yung y mo, and then this is 3.5. So, by similar triangle, okay, so, y is 2, 3.5 equals 0.158 is 2, 6. So, bibigyan niya tayo ng value ng y. So, yung y natin, we have 0.092. 0.092 millimeters. Okay, so pwede na natin kunin yung ating y prime or tawagin na lang din natin siyang in terms of elongation. So, elongation at b. So, our elongation at b is equal to this distance plus this distance na y, no? So, this distance na ito is 1.78. So, 1.78 or elongation at your aluminum plus your y. So, we have 1.78 plus 0.092. So, trigonometry lang ginamit ko dito, ha. Okay, plus 1.78. So, this is 1.872. 872 millimeters. So, this will be our final answer ay example number 6. Okay? So, that's it guys for this video lecture. Thank you for listening. Paalam!